You've been visualizing for weeks, maybe even months. You've created detailed mental pictures of your desires. You've seen yourself living in that beautiful home. You've imagined the bank account with all those zeros. You've pictured the perfect relationship, the ideal career, the life of your dreams, and yet nothing is changing. Your reality looks exactly the same as it did when you started. The bills are still there. The loneliness persists. The opportunities remain elusive. And you're beginning to wonder if this whole visualization thing is just wishful thinking. Let me tell you something that might surprise you. Visualization works. It absolutely works. But most people are doing it wrong. And the mistake they're making is so simple, so subtle, that they don't even realize it's happening. I learned this truth many years ago when I was desperately seeking a way to study with the great Thomas Troward. I needed $20,000. That was an enormous sum in those days. My income was comfortable for daily needs, but nowhere near enough for such an undertaking. I began visualizing every night. $21,000 bills counted over and over in my bedroom. I saw myself buying the steamer ticket. I pictured myself walking on the ship's deck. I imagined being accepted as Troward's pupil. But here's what I was doing wrong at first. I was visualizing from a place of lack. I was seeing these things as somewhere out there in the future, as something I hoped to get someday, as something that would make me happy when it finally arrived. This is the fatal flaw in most people's visualization practice. They're reinforcing the very feeling they're trying to escape. The feeling of not having what they want right now. When you visualize your desire as something you're trying to attract, you're unconsciously affirming that you don't have it. When you see it as something that exists in the future, you're keeping it in the future. When you approach it with the energy of wanting, you remain in a state of want. The plastic substance of the universe is incredibly sensitive. More sensitive than the finest photographer's film. And it responds not to your pictures, but to the feeling behind those pictures. If your feeling is one of lack, of hope, of maybe someday, then that's exactly what you'll continue to experience. But there's a simple fix. A single shift that can transform your entire visualization practice overnight. The secret is this. You must visualize from a place of having, not wanting. You must feel the ownership, the gratitude, the relief of already possessing what you desire. You must enter into the spirit of your fulfilled wish. Let me share how this revelation came to me. One day, while walking down the street, still visualizing my $20,000, a thought arose from within me. I am all the substance there is. My mind accepted this idea completely. Immediately, all tension left my body. I felt an absolute certainty of being in touch with all the power life has to give. That night, when I made my mental picture, everything was different. I wasn't trying to attract the money. I was simply acknowledging what was already mine. I counted the bills not with desperate hope, but with quiet gratitude. And within 6 weeks, through an avenue I never could have imagined, that exact sum was in my bank account. The difference wasn't in the picture itself. The difference was in the feeling of the picture. This is what I call the thank you technique, and it's the missing piece in most visualization practices. Here's how it works. Step 1. Create your mental picture as you normally would. See yourself in possession of your desire. Make it vivid, detailed, real. But don't strain. Don't force. Simply allow the image to form naturally in your mind. Step 2. Once the picture is clear, here's the crucial part. Let go of the details. Stop focusing on the specific images. Instead, turn your attention entirely to the feeling of having what you've just visualized. How would you feel if this were already yours? Not how you hope to feel someday, but how you would feel right now if you opened your eyes and found your desire completely fulfilled. Would you feel relief, gratitude, joy, peace, excitement? Whatever that feeling is, allow it to fill your entire being. Let it saturate every cell of your body. Feel it in your heart, in your stomach, in your very bones. Step 3. From this place of felt fulfillment, simply say, thank you. You can say it silently or aloud, but say it with the genuine gratitude of someone who has received an unexpected gift. Thank you. These 2 words are an act of acceptance. They're a declaration to the universe that you recognize your good as already given. They shift your consciousness from the vibration of wanting to the vibration of having. When you say thank you with genuine feeling, you're not trying to convince yourself of something that isn't true. You're recognizing a truth that exists in the spiritual realm before it appears in the physical world. You're acknowledging that in the mind of God, your desire is already fulfilled. Now, I know what you're thinking, but it doesn't feel real. I can see my bank account. I can see my empty house. I can see my current circumstances. How can I feel grateful for something I don't have? This is where faith comes in. And remember, you already have faith. You've been using it your whole life. Even your fears are powered by faith. You fear poverty because you have faith in its possibility. You worry about failure because you have faith it might happen. The question isn't whether you have faith. The question is what you're having faith in. When you say thank you for your fulfilled desire, you're redirecting your faith. You're choosing to have faith in the invisible rather than the visible. You're choosing to trust the spiritual reality more than the physical appearance. And here's something wonderful. The feeling of gratitude becomes easier each time you practice it. At first, it might feel forced or artificial. You might have to remind yourself to feel thankful. But with repetition, something beautiful happens. Your mind begins to accept this new reality as truth. The creative energy that flows through you is always working. It never stops. It's like a river that must flow somewhere. The question is whether you're directing it toward what you want or what you don't want. When you visualize with wanting, you direct that energy toward more wanting. When you visualize with gratitude, you direct it toward fulfillment. Your mind is a center of divine operation. The same power that brought the entire universe into existence is working through you right now. But it can only work according to the pattern you give it. And that pattern is determined not by your pictures, but by your feelings about those pictures. Every morning and every evening, create your mental picture. See yourself in possession of your heart's desire. Then let go of the image and feel the gratitude of having received it. Say thank you with the joy of a child on Christmas morning. Don't concern yourself with how it will come to pass. That's not your job. Your job is simply to hold the feeling of fulfillment and let the creative power find its own way to manifest your good. Remember, there should be no strain in this process. No desperate effort, no anxious trying. Just a calm, joyful acknowledgement of what is already yours in the realm of pure possibility. The more enthusiasm and faith you bring to this practice, the more quickly your desires will appear in physical form. And that enthusiasm is increased when you keep your visualizations private. The moment you speak your desire to others, you dilute its power. Guard it as a sacred secret between you and the creative force of life. I want you to try something this week. Choose one desire, something you've been visualizing without success. Tonight, create your mental picture as usual. But then, let go of the details and focus only on the feeling of having it right now. Feel the gratitude, feel the relief, feel the joy. And from that place of felt fulfillment, simply say, thank you. Do this every morning and every evening for 7 days. Not as a desperate attempt to make something happen, but as a joyful acknowledgement of what is already yours. Your desires are not separate from you. They arise from the same creative source that brought you into existence. They are not things you must chase or convince the universe to give you. They are expressions of your deeper nature seeking to unfold through your experience. When you truly understand this, visualization becomes not a technique for getting what you want, but a method of recognizing what you already are. The kingdom of heaven is within you. Your good is already yours. Your visualization practice is simply the way you claim it. So tonight, create your picture. Feel the gratitude. Say, thank you. And then watch as the invisible becomes visible and the spiritual takes form in your physical world. The power is within you. It always has been. Now you know how to use it.